Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in his book that he loves, because there are some Muslims, unfortunately, they say Allah doesn't love. Allah loves and Allah hates. Allah says, inna Allah yuhibbul muhsineen. Allah loves the muhsin. And that is in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 195. In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ in Muwatta Imam Malik, he said, my love, loving Allah, is incumbent upon those who love one another for my sake, those who exchange visits for my sake, those who sit with one another for my sake, and those who put themselves in the service of one another for my sake. So if we love one another for the sake of Allah, do you know the meaning of for the sake of Allah? Unfortunately nowadays, it became lip service, right? Brother, I love you for the sake of Allah. Jazakallah khair. Because you know this is not going to cost you anything, right? But the real brotherhood, that when you say, I love you for the sake of Allah, you stand by your brother. One of our forefathers, the pious predecessors, and that is Zayn al-Abidin, Ali ibn al-Husayn. He asked his brothers, can one of you put his hand in his brother's pocket and takes what he wants and his brother will not question him? They said, no. He said, you are not my brothers. Can you imagine? You put your hand in your brother's pocket, you open his wallet, and you take, and he will not question you. They said, no. He said, you are not my brothers. I say, if my dad, my father, puts his hand, I will grab it, hold it. Daddy, this is money. This is money, it's not a joke. Subhanallah. A brother tells you, I love you for the sake of Allah. I say, Alhamdulillah. Then you come to visit him because you have financial problem. And he, he felt that you came for something. He started his preambles. You know preambles? Giving these excuses. Life is difficult nowadays. The cost of living is high. So he is telling me, please, if you came for something, don't ask. So where is the brotherhood? Where is it? We lied. That's why it became lip service. But those who love each other for the sake of Allah, they will be sitting on the day of resurrection on pulpit, chairs made of light on the day of resurrection. Even the prophets and messengers, they envy them. Now, before we delve into the topic, I want you to memorize the law of love. There is law. There is law of love. This law says you love what your beloved one loves, and you hate what your beloved one hates. Have you memorized it? You love what your beloved one loves, and you hate what your beloved one hates. Now, do you love your wife? Yes. So if you love your wife, you will love whatever your wife loves. She loves this perfume, you will go and buy it. She loves this flower, you will like it. Because that's what love is about. You love what your beloved one loves. The Englishman said what? Love me, love my dog, right? Love me, love my dog. Because if you love me, you will love even my dog. And Arabs, they don't have dogs, they have camels. So he said, وَأُحِبُّهَا وَتُحِبُّنِي وَيُحِبُّنَا قَتْهَا بَعِيرِي. I love her, and she loves me. And my camel loves her she-camel. You see the love? Even the camel loves the she-camel. This is what love is about. Unfortunately, many of us, they don't know the meaning of love. See Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is our example to follow. Aisha and Hafsa, they saw him going to Maria, and Maria used to feed him and would feed him honey, and they didn't have honey. So they got angry. Wow, let us stop him. Jealousy. So Aisha and Hafsa, they got together. They said, the moment the Prophet comes to you, say, oh, please, I can't stand your smell. Your smell is horrible. And when he comes to me, I will say the same thing. He went to Hafsa, please, Prophet of Allah, stay away. And the Prophet ﷺ, he hates bad smells. That's why he used to chase away from the masjid those who come after eating onion. Do you eat onion and go to the masjid? He used to chase them away from the masjid. You come with that bad smell? So now his wife is telling him, stay away. He said, no, 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 no. This is the smell of the honey I took in Maria's house, and I will not take it again. Because his wife hates it. See the love? You love what your beloved one loves, and you hate what your beloved one hates. He went to Aisha, she did the same thing. And he said the same thing. So much so that Allah blamed him. Oh, Prophet of Allah, why do you make something halal haram for you? Seeking by that the pleasure of your wives? This is the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Your wife cannot stand a particular perfume, and you insist to wear it. She tells you, please, my husband, it gives me migraine headache. No, I like it. It gives me headache. I like it. Your wife cannot stand particular type of food, and she cannot cook it. You say, I love it, cook it for me. That means you don't love your wife. The same thing, the wife who loves her husband will always think, what makes my husband happy? Always will be looking presentable, taking care of her body, taking care of everything, because she loves her husband. And she will love her father-in-law and her mother-in-law. Because the husband loves his parents, right? So she has to love his parents. And because the wife loves her own parents, so the husband will love also his in-laws. Mutual. Because the law of love says, you love what your beloved one loves. Is this clear, brothers and sisters? Always remember this law of love. Now, having said this, my dear brothers and sisters, let us go through the 10 reasons. Number 1, take notes, write them down. And my advice for you, brothers and sisters, when you come to the talks, bring your pen and piece of paper. Don't come here and start listening. You come out, you forget everything. Unless all of you are Muhammad bin Ismail Bukhari. Are you Muhammad bin Ismail Bukhari? Muhammad Ismail al-Bukhari, he used to sit in the circle and he would not write anything. And his colleagues would tell him write, and the teacher would say, Muhammad is recording, when he goes to Bukhara, he will retrieve. If you are Muhammad bin Ismail, no problem. If you are not Muhammad bin Ismail, then get pen and piece of paper. For Allah's love is reading the book of Allah, reading the Quran, reading the speech of Allah, this word of Allah that came from Allah, and it will go back to Allah. A time will come, my dear brothers and sisters, when this Quran will go back to Allah. So read it while you have it, and understand it, and ponder and reflect upon the meaning of the Quran. Allah says in Surah An-Nisa, Surah number 4, Ayah 82, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Why they don't consider the Quran with care? Had it been from other than Allah, it would have contained, and they would have found much of discrepancy, but no contradiction. No contradiction at all, my dear brothers and sisters, in the Quran. It's the only book on the face of the globe, the Quran. It's the only book that challenges the reader. Have you found a book challenging its reader? Or you find in the preface, in the introduction, the author is apologizing. He's apologetic in the introduction. And then at the end he puts his address, his email, post office. If you find any typo mistakes, anything, please send me, and I'll be grateful, right? There's no book on the face of the globe that challenges the reader except this book, the Quran. It is this book that says to its reader, go, I challenge you to find any mistake. Go. And the challenge is there for the last 1400 years, and no one met that challenge yet. You know, the Christians, and his Shorosh, he compiled a book like the Quran of Musaylama. You know, Musaylama the liar, Musaylama al-Kadhab. Musaylama the liar, he said, I am a prophet, and he sent a letter to the Prophet ﷺ saying, oh Muhammad, you are a prophet in Hijaz, Makkah and Medina. I am a prophet in Yamama. Let us divide it 50-50. The Prophet ﷺ sent him a letter again from Muhammad Rasulullah ﷺ to Musaylama the liar. His tribe, Banu Hanifa, said, Muhammad ﷺ, he brought Quran. Where is your Quran? He said, this is my Quran. I will quote some of Musaylama's Quran. Listen. وَالْخَابِزَاتِ خَبْزًا وَالْعَاجِنَاتِ عَجْنًا. Those who don't know Arabic, they didn't catch the joke. I'll translate. When the bakers bake the bread, when the bakers bake the bread, when the kneaders knead the bread, you know, to knead. When the bakers bake the bread, when the kneaders knead the bread. Is this Quran? This is the Quran of Musaylama. يا ضفدع بنت ضفدعين نقي أو لا تنقين نصفك في الماء ونصفك في الطين. Musaylama's Quran. O frog, a daughter of another frog. O frog, a daughter of another frog. Make a noise or don't make a noise. Is this Quran? And his Shorosh Quran is like Musaylama's Quran. If the Arabs, those who mastered the tongue, the most eloquent, they failed miserably to produce one ayah. Can someone A'jami or someone who doesn't know the Arabic grammar can come with something close to the eloquency of the Quran? The answer, no. So this Quran challenges its reader. So reflect, read it, understand it. And the Sahaba, they understood this book, the Quran, and they loved it. One of the Sahaba, Hadith in Bukhari, whenever he would finish his salah, the last rak'ah he would read Qul Wallahu Ahad. In the second rak'ah, he would always read Qul Wallahu Ahad. The Sahaba, they told him, why do you read this? Read another surah. He said, no, I will only read this surah. And they complained to the Prophet ﷺ. And they asked the Prophet ﷺ, he said, this man always in the second rak'ah, Qul Huwallahu Ahad. He said, go and ask him why he insists to read Qul Huwallahu Ahad. He said, because I love it. I love this surah because this surah talks about my Lord, about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ told them, go and tell him that Allah loves him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves him because he loved that surah. That's why Qul Huwa Allahu Ahad is 1/3 of the Quran. It is 1/3 of the Quran. So if you read Qul Huwa Allahu Ahad, it is as if you read 1/3 of the Quran. I mean, the reward. In another authentic hadith, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, whoever reads Qul Huwa Allahu Ahad 10 times, Allah builds for him a house in the Jannah. House in the Jannah. So, what will make us love Allah or entitled for Allah's love is reading the book of Allah, Al-Quran, every day, at least one juzu. Every day, at least one juzu. So at the end of the month, you finish the Quran. And you know what? It's very easy. It's not difficult. Get used to it and commit yourself, and you'll find it easy. At least once a month, you read the Quran. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said about the Quran, verily the best among you are those who study the Quran, then taught it to others. The best ones are those who mastered the Quran and they are teaching the Quran to others. Go and find a study circle, tajweed class, and sit and read the Quran, because the Quran you cannot read it on your own. You have to sit in a circle under a sheikh who will teach you how to articulate and how to read the Quran. And instead of saying al-lazina, is it al-lazina or al-ladina? Al-dhalin or al-zalin? What is it? Okay, so you need to go and study in a study circle under a sheikh so that you read the Quran correctly. Because this Quran was read by Jibreel alayhi salam to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he read it to the Sahaba. And the Sahaba, they read it to the Tabi'een. That's how it reached us, the recitation of the Quran, through oral transmission. Besides the writing, it was conveyed orally. So no one can tamper with the Quran. No one can add one dot or one letter. They tried, the non-Muslims. They copied many Qurans. Immediately the Muslims, they found out. Because this Quran is memorized by millions and millions of Muslims. So you cannot. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the one who said, I'm going to protect it. In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah has got two types of people who are very close to Him. When He was asked, who are they? He said, the people of the Quran, Ahlul Quran, hum Ahlullah. Ahlul Quran, hum Ahlullah. People of the Quran are the ones whom Allah singled out and brought them closer to Him. This is authentic hadith in Musnad Imam Ahmad. In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah elevates and raises. Allah elevates the status because of this Quran of some people, and He lowers others. Some people, Allah, because of the Quran, He elevates their status, and some He lowers them. Manners of reading the Quran. There are manners. I'll just go through them quickly. When you want to read the Quran, the ikhlas, brushing your teeth before reading it. Tahara, take wudu. Read in a clean area, facing the Qibla. Seek Allah's protection. Feel the greatness because they are reading the speech of Allah. The second reason, inshallah, which will bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and entitled you for His love, that you get closer to Allah by doing the nafil. Not only the 5 prayers, the nafil prayers. Number 3, the dhikr. Keep your tongue always busy with the dhikr. If you want your heart to remain alive and strong, keep this tongue busy always with the dhikr. Verily, in Allah's remembrance, the hearts find peace. Number 4, what Allah loves takes precedent over what you love. In other words, what Allah loves has top priority than what I love. Allah, remember the law of love. Who's our beloved one? Allah. So if you love Allah, and now your sweetheart tells you, shave it. Shave your beard. It pokes me. Should you listen to her? You tell her, yes, I love you, but I love Allah more than you. So Allah's love comes before anyone's love.